You know that feeling when you're listening to someone speak and you just think, wow, I have absolutely no idea what they just said, but it sounded brilliant? Well, today, we're diving into the world of one of modern English's most amazing wordsmiths, Shashi Tharoor, to crack the code on his legendary vocabulary. We're going to find out why using big words isn't just about sounding smart, but about thinking with incredible precision. Okay, let's get into it.
Right? If you just read that and your brain went, a what and a what now? Trust me, you are not alone. This is classic Tharoor. And look, this kind of language can feel a bit intimidating, can't it? Kind of like a secret club you don't have the password for. But what if I told you that every single one of those complicated words has a very, very specific job to do?
Exactly. That's the big question, isn't it? Why not just say his speech was full of long, empty words? Is a style like this just for show? Or is there something way deeper going on? That's what we're here to figure out. And cracking this code might just change how you think about words forever. Okay, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. The goal of a powerful vocabulary, whether it's yours or Shashi Tharoor's, is not to confuse people. Actually, it's the total opposite. It's all about achieving surgical precision with your words. Think of it less like showing off and more like a master craftsman choosing the perfect, razor-sharp tool for a really delicate job. Just take a look at the difference here. Smart is a good word. It's fine. It gets the point across. But perspicacious, wow, that tells you how the person is smart. It means they have this keen, insightful way of seeing things that others miss. It adds a whole other layer of meaning. That is the power of precision.
So here's the crucial thing to remember. These aren't just fancy words for speaking. They are literally tools for thinking. When you have the exact right word, you can define an idea more clearly in your own head. It lets you capture a specific nuance, make a much bigger impact, and maybe most importantly, it helps you think with so much more clarity.
Okay, so the theory is great, but let's get practical. To really understand this Tharoor code, we have to look at the building blocks. So we're going to build a little toolkit of words you can use to describe people, moving way beyond simple things like nice or mean. Let's start with a classic. Supercilious. You can almost feel it, right? That sense of someone looking down their nose at you. It perfectly captures that specific kind of arrogance, the kind where someone acts like they're just fundamentally better than everyone else in the room. You're not just saying they're arrogant, you're painting a crystal clear picture of how they're arrogant.
And on the complete other end of the spectrum, we've got this little gem, pusillanimous. It almost sounds as timid as it means, doesn't it? This doesn't just mean scared. It describes a deep, fundamental lack of courage. It's a much stronger, more specific word than just calling someone a coward.
So, quick check-in. That boss who's always acting superior? Definitely supercilious. And that character in a story who's afraid of their own shadow? You got it, pusillanimous. See how they just fit? They're the perfect word for the job.
You ever met someone who is just almost disgustingly flattering to people in charge? They're not just a flatterer or a yes man. The perfect, precise word for that person is a sycophant. It instantly tells you that their praise isn't real. It's just a tool they're using to get ahead. And to round out our character toolkit, let's bring in a hero. Think of an explorer facing the unknown, or a journalist reporting from a war zone. They aren't just brave, they're intrepid. It suggests this amazing, adventurous spirit on top of being fearless. It's the absolute perfect contrast to pusillanimous.
All right, let's switch gears. We've seen how precision works for describing people. Now let's see how it applies in a different arena, one where Shashi Tharoor is a true master. Debates and arguments. In this world, choosing the right word isn't just about being precise, it's about controlling the intensity of your point and turning a simple argument into an art form.
Now, this is a brilliant way to see it. Think of this like a volume knob for criticism. All three of these words have to do with criticism, but they are on totally different levels of intensity. A trenchant comment is sharp and smart. To excoriate something, you're dialing it up to severe criticism, but vituperative? Whoa, that's full-blown abusive attack mode.
So you'd use trenchant to describe a witty, sharp remark that just cuts right through all the nonsense and gets to the heart of the issue. It's like criticism as a scalpel. It's clean, it's sharp, and it's incredibly effective. But if you want to verbally tear something to shreds, to criticize it relentlessly and severely, you would excoriate it. This isn't a scalpel anymore. This is a sledgehammer, and you're using it to dismantle a bad argument piece by piece.
And then there's vituperative. At this point, you've gone way beyond criticism. This is just nasty, abusive language filled with insults.
This isn't about winning an argument anymore, it's about a pure verbal assault. And knowing the difference between these three is absolutely crucial for any powerful communicator.
So, after going through all these incredible words, what's the big takeaway here? We set out to crack the code of a master wordsmith. And the secret? The true power of this kind of language? It really just boils down to one simple but incredibly important idea.
The goal is not to obfuscate, and that's a great word in itself, right? It just means to deliberately make something confusing or unclear. Using big words just to sound smart is completely missing the point.
The real goal is to illuminate, to shine a bright, clear light on an idea. It's about finding that one perfect word that makes a complex thought suddenly beautifully simple and clear, not just for your audience, but for you too. And that's really the heart of it all. Cracking the Tharoor code isn't about memorizing a dictionary. It's about upgrading your mental toolkit. A powerful vocabulary gives you the power to think with so much more precision and to share those thoughts with an impact that simpler language just can't always match.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Whether it's trenchant or intrepid or supercilious, what's one powerful word you've learned here that you're going to try and use this week? Because honestly, the best way to really own a word is to use it. Thanks for joining me.